Hello, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I welcome you once more. Guys, yesterday, the 15th of March, was a very, very special day in FC Barcelona. But before I dive to give you what I have in stock, I would like to welcome all of you once more to Tem Sport. Yes, for those who are new on this channel, here we talk purely football. Yes, I talk much of football, but mostly I focus in FC Barcelona, which is my team. So because I'm a very, very huge fan of FC Barcelona, so I always bring more news that concerns FC Barcelona. Today we are going to be talking about a variety of topics. Please just bear with me because the video is going to be a little bit long than the ones I used to do, but please just bear with me because there is plenty and plenty and plenty of news coming from FC Barcelona. Today we saw the team victory against Sevilla 5 goals to 2 with a hat trick from Rafinha, a golazo from Daniel Olmo and Joao Cancelo. So it was 5 goals to 2 in favor of FC Barcelona. I was very, very happy after the game. So much happy, not just because of the victory, but no, not like the victory is not very, very important. But of course, the victory is important too because before then, Real Madrid, which I are competing with FC Barcelona for who are going to be champions, already won their game on Saturday against Elche. So it was but normal that FC Barcelona has to do everything possible to win this game in order to extend the league table with 4 point difference. And behold, they did extremely very well. So I was very, very happy after the game. Why? Another reason why it is a very, very important moment for FC Barcelona fans was because we saw the return of Gavi. Yes, we saw the return of Gavi, whom have been hit so much with injuries. Gavi has been going through series of injuries, and we saw the return of Gavi where he had a very, very warm welcome. We saw everybody at the stadium stood up. It was a standing ovation. Everybody stood up and they welcomed Gavi, one of our captains, in a very, very special way. So it was a very, very remarkable moment. Another reason why I was very much happy, why yesterday, Sunday, the 15th of March, was a very, very important day, especially to us FC Barcelona fans, was because for after a while, for almost 2.5 years now, since the stadium have been going under renovations, we saw that the north goal, yes, the north goal was being opened. And with that, now FC Barcelona, the stadium now have a capacity of 60,000 fans. It means before, why the stadium is still under renovation, the capacity initially was about 23. Then after, it was being increased to about 40. But now, as I speak now, the stadium has a capacity of 60,000. Means it is more population at the stadium, more money for FC Barcelona. And another reason again is the fact that the supporters section has been opened for those who are very, very close fans in FC Barcelona. We all know that the supporters section has been closed down for some time now by the president Joan Laporta. So because they had some 1 or 2 issues and they were fined and they didn't pay the fine. So they have been away for some time. They were being sanctioned But yesterday, the 15th of March, the section was being opened, and we saw it was a different atmosphere because you could hear the shouting at the stadium. You know what it means that the supporters section has been opened. So the fans were there chanting the players, encouraging the guys, and so on. And I think that it is a very, very important moment, especially looking to the fact that in the days ahead, FC Barcelona has a match against Newcastle, and the population is going to be there. The capacity has already been increased to 60,000. Then the supporters section has equally been open. So I think it's a huge boost for the team. Yeah, it's a very, very huge boost for the team. So it was very, very important. So you see, a lot of things just happened on that yesterday, the 15th of March. A lot of things happened in FC Barcelona, which were very, very important for the club. It was very important for the team, for the players, and to all of us FC Barcelona fans, because you can't be playing football where the supporters are not allowed to be where they used to be. They are not allowed to be at the stadium. But we thank God that everything has been resolved and they have been given the permission again to come back and be where they are always at the stadium. Another great news, guys. Another very, very important news in FC Barcelona. This one is not very common in some teams, was that yesterday was equally the day for the elections, who were supposed to determine who will be the next president for the next 5 years in FC Barcelona. There were two candidates, Victor von and Joan Laporta. So all these events were taking place yesterday. Yeah, all these events were taking place yesterday. Some people, the voting began yesterday at the early hours of the day, and we could see videos and uh, pictures where there was a massive turnout at the early hours of the day. So it was a very, very important day in FC Barcelona. And this is not common in so many teams because it is not every team out there that they have to do elections to know who is going to be their next president. So it was a very, very special day. Now, if I go to the game, like let me talk a little bit about the game. If I go to the game, it was a must-win game, as I said earlier, and I knew that there would be some rotations because of the Champions League that we have in days to come. So it was but normal that rotations were supposed to take place at the goalpost. We saw Juan Garcia. Of course, he is our number one, and then the defense line, the four defenders at two left wing, we had Xavi expires, we have Paco Bassi, Gerard Martin, and Joao Cancelo at the defense line. At the midfield, it was Daniel Olmo, Marc Bernal, and Pedri. And our attack line, of course, was Rooney Badaji, Lewandowski, and Rafinha, who gave us the hat trick. So that was the lineup to begin this very, very important game in this special day. So players were being rested, like Fermin Lopez, who needed some rest. Lamine Yamal was equally rested, though he came during the second half, but it was very, very important for him to have this rest because we need him to be very, very strong and healthy in the days ahead for the Champions League, which is very, very important for FC Barcelona. Uh, During games, by those who have been watching my uh, 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 match reviews, I don't mostly like to talk about individual players, but as a whole, I will mention some players whom I thought They were they did something very, very magnificent during the game. I will begin with Joao Cancelo. If I was supposed to rate him, behold, I would just give him 10 on 10 because he did all what he had to do very, very smoothly. Attacking wise, he was there, and defensive wise, he was there. Even the two penalties we had, all of them were being caused by him. He was being fouled. So Joan Cancelo have like his game was just top notch. He was very, very different today, and I just hope that he will continue like this. Yes, I hope he is going to continue this way, so that because we really need everybody. We need everybody, both in La Liga and in the Champions League, to be very, very 120% ready, because the games ahead are not going to be easy games. And we don't want to find ourselves in a situation where we don't go far in the Champions League, or we are not champions in La Liga. Why not even be champions of the Champions League? So, so it was a very, very good game for him. We saw Rafinha, who had a hat trick. He needed these goals because so far he have not been performing very well, and he needed these goals ahead of the game, the midweek game against Newcastle. Another player whom I thought did, of course, he is always 10 on 10, was Paco Bassi and Gerard Martin. Like, they did very, very excellent. Xavi Expaz, who is just coming up from the Barca B team, he too was he played as a left back, but naturally he is a midfielder who have been converted to a left back. And guys, he did very, very well. Mark Bernal was equally very, very instrumental with an assist to Daniel Olmo. Then during the halftime, we saw that Pedri was being brought up. Of course, FC Barcelona was already leading. There was no need to keep Pedri there because we need Pedri to be ready for the game against Newcastle. Pedri need to be 120% ready. So he was being sub out for uh Fermin Lopez. Yeah, Fermin Lopez came in during the second half and equally did very well. Yeah, he did very well. Rafinha equally was out for Gavi, and we equally saw that. I won't say it was not a good game for Lewandowski, but I think that for some time now he has been going through some difficulties finding the back of the net. To score goals now has been very, very difficult for him. I just hope, and I hope that he he comes back the way he used to be, because we really need him, especially at this time. He is our goal machine, and seeing him go for games upon games upon games without scoring is not very, very healthy for the team. Yeah, it's not very, very healthy for the team. We even heard how Hansi Flick mentioned this during he post match conference, that he is not very, very pleased with the fact that his attackers are not very, very clinical. That we are talking about Lewandowski and Ferran Torres, whom I think that Deco should be thinking of how to sell him, because I don't know what he's doing in FC Barcelona at this point. Sorry, but I think that if Deco sees a team, be it even in Qatar, in Saudi Arabia, look for a way to send this guy out, because I don't know what he's doing there. So overall, the team pressed very, very well from the beginning to the end of the game. This is what I want to see in these guys. Keep the pressing, don't relent effort. Though at the point they really did something, I don't understand what happened. Right before the halftime, the guys were just walking around and conceive a goal. And at almost the 92nd minute of the game, where the game was almost over, the defenders were just lying Like, I don't know if they were tired. I don't know what happened, but they just lose focus, and as Sevilla has to score the second goal, and we cannot keep doing this. We see FC Barcelona do this year in, year out, where at the dying minute of the game, the defenders lose focus and the opposite team scores us. We have seen this in the Champions League so many times. And we are at the stage of the Champions League where the defenders must be awake from the beginning of the game till the final whistle. You cannot sleep. Please, Paco Bassi, Gerard Martin, uh, Joao Cancelo, Arau, Eric Garcia, Jules Koundé, all and that now I'm just mentioning not only guys who took place in the game of yesterday, all our defenders plays. You need to be very, very focused. From the beginning of the game to the end of the game, you must be focused because the least mistake you do, you can get punished. Yeah, you can get punished, and we don't want that as FC Barcelona fans. We don't want some little mistake that will start, oh, if this player was here, this couldn't have happened. No, we don't want to see that. Please, please, we really need you guys to be focused. I know you guys are doing your best. Some of you, not all of you, some of you are doing your best, but we need more from you. We are, as fans, we always want more. Yes, we are never, never satisfied as fans. We always want more. So I'm just pleading that you guys get very, very focused. By the time I'm doing this video now, the result of the presidential elections in FC Barcelona are already out. And behold, the person I wanted to be the winner won the elections. But I will talk more about the elections in my next video. But as of now, Joan Laporta is the president of FC Barcelona. It means he will continue for another 5 years. Yeah, he won Victor Font. Joan Laporta had 68.18%, and Victor Font has 29.78%. So Joan Laporta is officially the new president of FC Barcelona. He was the president, then he went in for another term, and he is equally the winner. But I will talk detailedly about the elections in another video because there is a lot to say. We saw players, our players voting now, our ex players, we equally saw them. The camera were able to capture some of them, like Sergio Busquets. I saw Sergio Busquets. I saw Xavi. Puyol equally was equally there, and I know so many other players were there. Eto'o was in Spain some days back, but I don't know if he was there yesterday. I really don't know because I didn't see him in any of the photos or the videos, but I don't know. But he was in Spain a few days ago. So we saw a lot of these players, not just the male team, no, even the female team. The ladies equally were there. Everybody was there voting. And Joan Laporta is our president. We want to see what some people criticize Joan Laporta, that he is a liar and say a lot of things. But behold, we know that Joan Laporta and the board have really, really struggled to build FC Barcelona to the level that at least we have been trying to be champions in La Liga and in the Champions League. They have been competing. Last season, we came out of the Champions League in the semifinals, which a team that we are barely using our players from our academy. So it has not been easy, but he has been trying to build this team with Hansi Flick. And all I hear people say is they criticizing. They don't even want to see the good part of what he has done. taking over from a team that was at the verge of bankruptcy, but he struggled and put things together with his team to ensure that FC Barcelona still holds the grip that he has in Europe. So he can be bad, but at least let's look at the positive things that he has done too. As FC Barcelona fans, that we all know that he has done. But as I said, I will talk lengthily about the elections in my next video. Thank you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Peace out.